The number one fear in the world for most people is public speaking. Number two, dying. What that essentially means is that a person would rather die than stand up and speak in front of a room full of people. We as Toastmasters have already conquered our fear of public speaking. This is what we do. We are now working on conquering number two. But yet, however many speeches we give, however much experienced of a Toastmaster we are, whenever it's time to do a table topics, each one of us feels a little anxious. That little nugget of fear creeps back in. And why is that? It is because we are no longer in control. We don't know what's coming. It's the fear of the unknown that makes us try to avoid doing table topics sometimes. So let's get rid of that feeling of the unknown. Let's take back control of what we can do, of what we know. Because at the end of the day, when you do table topics, all you have to remember, whether you're doing it at your club or you're competing in a contest, all you have to remember is to look pretty confident to everyone. Now, the reason I spelled out or counted out those words is because I'm an acronym-loving person with ice in my veins. So I'm going to be using the first letter of those words, look pretty confident to everyone, to show us how we can take control of what we can do in a table topic. So let's start with the first step. Listen. Listen to the question in its entirety. Oftentimes we are so eager to get started on our table topics that we don't listen to the whole thing. We get caught up on one key word in the first few seconds of the table topics being introduced to us, and that is what stays in our head. But listen to the whole question. Maybe there's another keyword that you can focus on. Maybe there's a third keyword that is more familiar to you, and you can talk about that. So take the time and listen. The time does not start until you start. So take your time and listen to the question. Step number two, pause. One of the things I've seen many Toastmasters do is they shake the table topics master's hand, or they say thank you on Zoom, and they go right into it. Don't. Pause. Even if you're pausing for 1 or 2 seconds, maybe even 3 or 4, it's okay. You have 2 minutes. So pause. Allow yourself the time to think about what you want to say. It also stops us when we pause to curb that fight or flight instinct that sets in when the adrenaline starts rushing. So listen to the question and then pause to collect your thoughts. It also keeps your audience on edge because they're thinking, ooh, thank goodness I did not get that question. I wonder what this person is going to be speaking about. Step number 3, confirm. Confirm the question or the topic. Not in its entirety. Don't repeat the thing that was told to you. Confirm maybe a keyword. If the question is, say for example, do you prefer chocolate ice cream or vanilla ice cream? Why? Don't repeat the whole question, but confirm some keywords. Ice cream. Yum, ice cream. You have started your table topics, but you are allowing your brain to pedal furiously to try and get the points through. When you confirm the topic that is given to you or the question that is asked of you, you are giving your audience an opportunity to understand what it is you're going to be talking about. The last thing you want in your 1 to 2 minute speech for table topics is for the audience to be wondering what's coming next, what's coming next, what's coming next, and not pay attention to the words that you are speaking. But if you confirm some key words, then the audience has an idea, an inkling of where this speech is going. So now they can sit back and listen to the words that confirm what they are thinking. So far, what have we done? We have taken control by listening to our topic, by pausing and giving us the space and the time to think, and we have confirmed to the audience and to ourselves what it is that we are going to be speaking about. Step number 4, tell your story. Give your speech. But remember, this is a mini speech. You have almost half, sometimes a third, sometimes a quarter of the amount of time that you are used to when you give regular speeches. So let's throw out the concept of 3 that we use in Toastmasters. Sometimes it's okay to just take 1 point and just go with that. When you tell your story, remember, the message is for the audience. You are not speaking for yourself, you are speaking for them. So what is it that is going to keep them interested? Maybe just 1 point. If you're really passionate about 2 points, if you absolutely want to get 3 points across, then do it. But make sure that you're spending lesser time on each point. Step number 5. Look pretty confident too, everyone. I forgot there. Step number 5, end your speech. I'm not sure why I forgot that. That seems such a regular, logical way to end a speech, but actually end it. By a show of hands, how many of you have been or seen or heard a table topic where the speaker was speaking and you were so engaged and so engrossed in what they were saying, and then they said, okay, and that's the end. And then you were thinking, oh my goodness, that finished so abruptly. I'm not sure where it actually went. So end your speech, end your word, end your phrase, end your sentence. Take a breath. End the speech because it is a speech at the end of the day. So what are the things that we've taken control of? We have listened, we have paused, we have confirmed, we have told our story, and we have ended our story. So now that we know what to do, let's talk about the how to do it. How does one actually tackle a table topics question? Because it's not always a question. Sometimes it's a statement that you have to speak about. I actually came across a table topic where it was just one word. It was a color, blue, and that was it. And I was thinking to myself, oh boy, how much time do we have? Because blue is my favorite color and I can speak volumes about it. So how do we actually tackle what we are given? There are generally four ways that Toastmasters tackle table topics. The first one is to answer the question and give a cause and effect. If I eat chocolate ice cream, this happens. If I eat vanilla ice cream, this happens. Another way of tackling a table topic question is to express an opinion. I hate ice cream, and I don't care if you agree with me or not. The third way is to break it down into components. Ice cream, you say? Well, let's start with just breaking up that word, ice and cream. I'm not a fan of just ice cubes, and I'm definitely not a fan of milk. But when you put the two together, so yummy, so delicious. So you're breaking down your question into components. The fourth typical way that we handle table topics is to use a chronological method. So we have a past, a present, and a future. When I was a child, I used to eat ice cream all the time. Now, at the age of 48, I can only handle ice cream a little bit, otherwise I get brain freezes a lot more. In the future, I won't care, and I will eat all the ice cream that I want again, just as when I was a child. So here, I've used past, present, and future to answer the tabletop. It doesn't matter how you answer the question. All that we're looking for is the fact that it has been answered. No one can tell you the words that are in your head and that are coming out of your mouth. No one has control over that except for you. So when we are doing table topics, the three things that we absolutely need to remember is to be sincere. Typically, we try to talk about our own stories. We bring in something that has happened to us, something that we are familiar with. The reason we do that is because our brain doesn't have the added task of having to come up with stuff as we're speaking it. We already have something to refer back to, and we build on our experiences. If we are sincere in our answer, it will come across in our speech. We only have 1 to 2 minutes, so we have to be brief. Table topics is not the time to showcase being a wordsmith. Table topics is not the time to let everyone know, look what I've learned in all my years in Toastmasters. Table topics is the time to show yourself that you can think on your feet. Because more often than not, we're not even aware that we are doing table topics. If you are in a grocery store and you're waiting in line at the checkout and you're just chatting with the person in front of you, you're doing table topics. When you go for a job interview, you have an idea of what will be asked, but you don't know what exactly will be asked, so you are doing table topics. Even Anya here. When Anya does a test at school, it's scary for the children because they don't know which part of everything that they're remembering is going to be asked. It's that fear of the unknown. It's that sense of not being in control. So if we are sincere, we help ourselves. We take away from having to make up things as well as speak them in real time. The third thing that we have to be careful about is that table topics is actually for us. It's not aimed to give a profound message. The objective of a table topic is to think on our feet. So don't come up with huge, profound messages. Save that for a prepared speech that is going to wow the audience and make them feel that they truly are amazing. So remember, table topics, we've been doing it forever. We just didn't know we were doing it. All we have to do, and say it with me, all we have to do is look pretty confident to everyone. Mr. Toastmaster.